start with this game we were talking about just last night. We watched it and a lot of question marks. But
Yeah.
even with I wrote this over under reaction literally before the news about Devontae Adams, but I kept with it. I still believe in this as a good question. Jason, do the Jets and Aaron Rodgers and that new Achilles and Devontae Adams now and that good receiver, blah blah blah, do they miss the playoffs? Last week I had it as, was Aaron Rodgers even a bust? That was my last week's overreaction question. Yeah. Now, do they miss the playoffs? 2-4.
I think right now, as we sit, I think it's an underreaction.
Okay.
Just because of the strength of the AFC East, like I don't believe in the Bills. Like, they are squeaking out wins when they play. They should have lost last night. I know shoulda, coulda, woulda. They got the win, whatever. They lost to the Texans and they lost to the Ravens. They haven't really beat anyone else besides that. I just don't think – I think the Jets could go into Buffalo later on in the season whenever they play them and get a win. I just think it's too early to say that they're going to miss the playoffs.
Okay.
Devontae Adams could be a difference maker. We'll see.
Definitely will be.
But talking about coaches and coach firings, Nick Sirianni, should he be fired even if the Eagles make the playoffs? Because that guy is a clown.
This is a crazy statement to say, should a coach be fired after making the playoffs? But guess what? This is an underreaction because, yes.
He should be fired right now.
Can that man? Kick him to the curb.
That guy sucks.
I just don't.
He's such a dick.
I don't know of the like, if I was in a locker room, right, and I'm a grown man, and I'm playing NFL football, and the guy who's supposed to lead the troops is chirping with
their own fans.
People stuffing their face with hot dogs and
drunk
beer.
Idiots.
Like, there's no way you're leading a team anymore to anything. Like, when they had their Super Bowl run, he seemed like a Matt LaFleur, like a Sean McVay, maybe not to that extent, but like a good young coach, offensive mind on the rise. Right, fired up, got the boys rolling. It looked like Philly was going to be a little bit of a wagon here with Hurts. They got a good receiving core, good defense. They acquire Saquon. He's chirping with the fans. Like, I don't like Sirianni. I think even regardless, if they go into the playoffs and lose again after high hopes, like, what are they going to turn into? The Cowboys or the Steelers? Like, that's not going to be fun.
No.
So, get him out.
Get him at right now.
Moving on, let's talk about the timeless man here, right? A lot of quarterbacks this year have been getting new lives with new teams. Something about Flacco that I miss. Jason.
He plays well wherever he goes.
He's just him. I love, like, even when I'm a Steeler fan my whole life, I've loved watching Flacco. Like, those games against you guys was awesome. But he's now in Indianapolis. He's throwing the most yards since he got to Cleveland, I think, in the league, like, per game. Should Joe Flacco, this is a lot of talk about this right now because, like you said in the top of the morning news, I think, Anthony Richardson, there's rumors about him coming back. If there's no setbacks, should Joe Flacco remain the starter for the Colts as of right now?
Before I answer this question, I just want to note that the Browns didn't offer Joe Flacco a contract after last season taking them to the playoffs.
He's making $4 million. That's
just another reason just to say that the Browns are just a poverty organization.
I think he's making like $4 million, $3 million, $4 million. Like, the Browns are so stupid.
But I think this is an underreaction. If I was a Colts coach, whatever, GM, I would be like, okay, we're paying a lot. They're paying a lot of veterans on that defense. They're like, we could win now with Joe Flacco. I would keep him as a starter. I think this is an underreaction. They're not going to. Anthony Richardson is most likely going to play on Sunday. And if they lose, Colts fans might be loud about it. They should say Joe Flacco should be the quarterback of this team. Anthony Richardson is still young. It's not like you're ruining his career if he plays again behind Joe Flacco, learns a little bit, gets 100% healthy. It feels like Anthony Richardson's always hurt. He's always hurt. I think Joe Flacco should be the starter.
No, I agree. Actually, believe it, like Jordan Love sat for 4 years. It feels like, for in Green Bay. And in my opinion, if you look at this division, who are they chasing? The Texans at 5-1. That's it. Everyone else sucks. The Titans suck. The Jags suck. Like they might as well keep winning. They're in the hunt for the wild card. And I literally listened to an interview with Joe Flacco. All this team wants is to win games, get to the playoff, and see what they can do. They know they're not going to contend to a Super Bowl unless by some crazy miracle. But they know what they are. But they can still compete. They can still give teams some problems. They beat us. They beat they beat some teams. So I think you keep winning. I really do.
I agree. I think it's like it's not like the Colts are in this developmental stage.
They have good young players too. Like they got some guys that can.
Yeah, they do.
That can make plays.
But all right, moving on to my Ravens, baby. Should Derrick Henry be in the MVP conversation? Let me give you some stats here. 704 rushing yards on the season, 8 touchdowns, 119 carries. Those all lead the NFL.
Yeah, I mean, should he be in the MVP conversation? I'm trying to think of like the MVP front runners right now. Obviously, it's probably going to be like a Sam Darnold's up there, Patrick Mahomes, even though he's not even playing good. But yeah, I would say this is a bit of an underreaction. I think the 30-year-old or 30-plus-year-old running back, I've said this, his whole career, but he's like the true classic workhorse. If you ever look back at the all-time great running backs, those guys were toting the ball for 300, 400 carries a year. No problem. Like workhorses, just head, nose down. Sure, they caught passes, but they were, and there was no like 1-2 punches back then either. They were like the guy toting the rock. He's the last one. He's like the lone survivor of a dying breed, in my opinion. And yeah, I do. Watching him play, he's still running by guys. He's still running over guys. He's still stiff arming people 6 feet into the ground. He's still Derrick Henry. Like he hasn't slowed down at all. And I got to tell you, whoever allowed him to be led blocked by your guys' fullback, whoever let Pat Ricard block for Henry in this scheme and with Lamar, like, yeah, I think Henry, if he keeps playing the way he's playing, I think this is an underreaction. I think he could easily be in the MVP conversation. The last running back to do it is Adrian Peterson, and that was AP. My man was come off a ACL injury, almost broke the record. It might take a lot for Henry to do it, but in conversation, yeah, he should be for sure.
I mean, he's sniffing on pace for 2,000 yards rushing.
Yeah. And I know you guys run the ball, but that's still hard to do, man. Especially like AP did that. AP did that that was 12 years ago. You know,
and that's what I mean. Derrick Henry doesn't play every snap either. He's like, if he's in the game, he's probably going to run the ball or play action. But like on a lot of 3rd and longs, like Derrick Henry's not in the game.
Yeah,
and AP was like, I mean, AP was playing every snap.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, no. But moving on, let's talk some college over underreactions. We just had a big weekend for the Big Ten. Penn State goes on the road, gets a tough win. We have Oregon. We got Ohio State. Does Penn State win the Big Ten? Jason,
this is overreaction. It's the overreaction. I think they get handled by Oregon and Ohio State if they play them.
And number 3 team in the country. Right?
Penn State feels like they play to their competition. I think I mentioned that earlier. They just, I mean, USC, man, USC sucks. Come on. Got to be better. You just got to have, they don't have a statement win. I feel like Penn State doesn't have a statement win. They're like, we're going to come out here and blow these guys out because we are a top 5 team in the country. I haven't seen that yet from them.
Hey, 2 weeks. They got them
I think they beat Bowling Green by like 10. Like, come on now.
2 weeks, they got them Buckeyes coming to town.
Yeah. It's going to be a long day for them, most likely. Especially after like an Ohio State team coming off a loss. They better pray they are in that game.
Yeah.
But last one of the day. The Lions. Are they the best team in the NFL?
We got 2 5-0 teams. We got the Chiefs, the Vikings, same division with the Lions. Lions are 5-1. Are they the best team? I will say right now, as of right now, I think they can easily, obviously, compete and win against anybody in the league right now. They've proved to me that, especially offensively, they are a problem.
Yeah.
Like, they are just a mismatched nightmares everywhere. Like, they could throw it, they could run it, They can throw it with the running backs. They got good tight ends, good offensive line. Dan, he is literally single handedly become my favorite coach in the NFL. Probably
He's the man.
I love that dude.
He's the man.
Every time I see him. Are they the best team in the NFL? I would say as of right now, I would say this is a bit of an underreaction because they are showing it's one of those three. It's the Chiefs, the Vikings, and the Lions. And of those three teams,
don't disrespect my Ravens like that, but okay.
Well, I meant just of record wise, no, you guys do look good. I would put the Ravens up there too. Yeah, obviously. I would say this is an underreaction. I would still I would say in a neutral site game, I would still take in past experiences like a Pat Mahomes, Andy Reid quarterback combo, just with experience. But as of right now, if they played, the Lions look good. They look better than they look better than.
I think the Lions are better than the Vikings.
I think the eye test right now, they look better than the Vikings. They look better than the Chiefs, and they look better than the Ravens, or even
they look like the best team right now. But I think specifically, the Chiefs are always going to be the Chiefs, and whatever happens if they played each other would happen. But just the way the Vikings have, that defense is crazy. But the Lions don't turn the ball over; they drive down the field and score touchdowns. And I just don't think Sam Darnold in that offense are going to keep up with the Lions if they play. They probably play soon, so we're going to get that matchup soon.
I can't wait for that division to start playing each other. But I will say this is an underreaction. I think they do look like – I don't know if there's a team in the league that has bought more into their coach besides the Lions. They would literally run through a wall for Cam.
He could make me run through a wall for them. That guy is the man.
He's so good. He's such a big coach.